Hi, good morning, friends. Happy Friday to you. We made it to the weekend. I'm Tim Pham. We're so glad you're starting off your Friday on Up with KREM. Nicole Hernandez is in for meteorologist Thomas Patrick this morning. And Nicole, I just cannot not mention that the studio smells amazing right now. We're featuring one of my favorite restaurants in the Inland Northwest here a little bit later on this show. But I can't wait for Smell-O-Vision one day, folks, because it is smelling wonderful in here.
That was a good tease. Yeah, I know they're like parading the food in past us right now. I'm just like, can I have some? But we do have to talk about weather before we get to the food. So right now we do have winter weather advisories in effect still for parts of the North Idaho Panhandle, St. Mary's, Wallace. You're going to be under those until 10 o'clock this morning. That's because of some of the remnants of the snow that was moving through our area, but for the most part, it's cleared its way out and is sticking, kind of moving its way out for the next few hours. Right now, here in the Spokane Coeur d'Alene area, all we're really going to see is just a few little flurries here and there. But if you do get caught in one of those, it's going to move its way out pretty quickly. As we look forward to the rest of the day into your weekend, you can see that big band of moisture there on the west side. That's actually going to stick there for the most part, but the same low pressure system that's causing that is going to start spitting some snow our direction as well. So we're just going to see a combination of random snowfall over the course of the next few days.
As investigators, we're looking for anything that can tie him to the scene of the crime.
New court documents reveal a gun and knives were recovered from the family home of Idaho murder suspect Brian Kohberger. We first brought you this as breaking news here on Up with KREM yesterday morning. The search warrants show what police recovered from the suspect's parents' home in Pennsylvania. In total, police took 63 items. Here's a list of some of them. 3 knives, a handgun, including 3 empty magazines, a laptop, a black mask, gloves, and much more. While many of the collected items don't seem to stand out on paper, legal experts say anything can be helpful in the case.
Well, we learned for the first time from this affidavit of what was received by the search warrant that the evidence of the 63 items or groups of items falls into 3 classifications. That stuff that's immediately relevant, that stuff that may be relevant, and those items that don't appear to have any relationship to the homicides as we know them.
Investigators also collected several items from the suspect's car. These new documents add to the first set of search warrants that were unsealed on Tuesday. The suspect remains in the Latah County Jail. He's awaiting his preliminary hearing, which is scheduled for June 26th. We have those court documents in its entirety on our website, krem.com. The race for Spokane Mayor is heating up. Lisa Brown, the former director of the Washington State Department of Commerce, announcing she will be putting in her name on the ballot to challenge incumbent Mayor Nadine Woodward this fall. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley was at that announcement yesterday and has more on what Mayor Woodward said in response.
Let's create a great Spokane together.
Lisa Brown launched her campaign for Spokane Mayor with a spotlight on a few different issues. She says her top priorities as mayor would include community safety, crime, and housing.
The temporary deregulation and single-family zoning is an excellent start, but we have to build on that at the local and regional level, set targets, make a plan to achieve them, and take advantage of every incentive and program that the state has to offer.
She decided to run for mayor because she claims the progress in Spokane has stalled under Mayor Nadine Woodward's administration.
The mayor ran 4 years ago on 2 issues, homelessness and crime downtown. We haven't made significant progress on those issues, and I think people are ready for a change.
Woodward responded to this criticism by discussing the accomplishments of her administration, including moving police precincts into neighborhoods and putting more officers on the streets with a new staffing model.
Also on the housing front, my administration has doubled the amount of shelter beds in our regional shelter system, and just opened at the end of last year, TRAC, the Trent Resource and Assistance Center.
Brown ran for Washington's 8th congressional district in 2018, but she was defeated by incumbent Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rogers. Brown told me she's stepped down from her state job to run for mayor because she wants to be closer to home and build a better community for her grandson.
We're already seeing social media posts from Woodward's campaign criticizing Brown's voting record. When asked how contentious we could expect this campaign to get, Woodward said, "We'll see." Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
In our ongoing in-session series, we help you make sense of the hot topics in the state legislature. Earlier this week, Washington state senators passed a bill requiring sex trafficking education in schools. Now, the goal of the bill is to prevent sex trafficking from happening to teens across the state. It requires schools to teach students about trafficking prevention and identification. A 17-year-old high school senior worked with State Senator Claire Wilson on the legislation. It's an issue the student took after learning Washington is the 6th largest epicenter for sex trafficking in the country.
It needs to just be heard one time between grades 7 and 12, enough to just make a tiny lasting impression, but that impression could save 20 years of somebody's life.
There is a similar bill aimed at helping survivors of human trafficking by creating a network of healing services and support for survivors all across the state. Both bills are now headed to the House. And a bill is heading to the State House to make abortions less expensive in Washington. The bill would ban copays for the procedures under insurance plans regulated by the state and public employee plans. Abortion is legal in Washington up until viability. It's also allowed to protect the life of the pregnant mother. The bill already passed the Senate and is headed to the House.